Good evening, vinyl community. I think this is the first video that I've ever filmed at night. And I can prove it. Hang on 1 second. I even have my jammy pants on. See, I'm all ready for bed. But my wife has gone out. First time this week I've had time to do a video. Here it is for you. Anyways, cheers everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. What we have today, well, first of all, coming up, next video is a turntable review, which I've never done before, but a company, I won't say, I'll save it for as I'm scratching my ankle, sorry. Yeah. There it is. Anyways, a company was nice enough to send me a turntable to review for free. So I'm gonna film this review, and it's my first one that I've done on a turntable that's brand new. I've done other ones. I've done acrylic platters. I've done preamps. I've done reviews on other things, but this is my first turntable review. Stay tuned for that because I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited that I was chosen to feature this company's turntable. So that's pretty exciting. So once again, because I've worked all day. Cheers, everyone. I'm very tired. Cheers. All right. What we got for you today? We got what can $35 buy you? That's going to be surprising for you, and it was surprising for me. We have thrift store finds. We have some amazing finds just at record stores, local record stores. I'm very excited about this video because there is some incredibly good stuff here to show you. So I hope you hang tight. I hope you hang in. And it'll be worth it. Trust me. Anyways, let's start with another drink of coffee. Just cause. All right. Where should I start today? We always start with new vinyl. There's not a lot of new vinyl to show you. But what I did get is possibly it's the worst hair or glam metal album ever released. I think this was in the 80s, 1989. There was that glory period of hair metal or glam metal in like 88, 89, 90, 91, and it kind of died off in 92. But that's when everything ruled the airwaves. And if you had long hair and you could play two chords, you could string 2 or 3 chords together, a label would sign you if you had the right look. This is maybe the worst hair metal album ever, and I have it on CD. It was just re-released on vinyl, and I couldn't say no. It was on Amazon clearance, and I had to have it on vinyl just because I need to have the worst hair metal album ever. And it's a band called Nitro. OFR is the name of the album, and their second album was titled a similar kind of lettering, whatever the term is for that. But Nitro. This stands for out fucking rageous. Anyways, primarily this band was a vocalist named Jim Gillette who went on to marry Lita Ford, and then Michael Angelo, who is a very, very well-regarded guitar shredder. He plays a 4-neck guitar there. See that 4-neck guitar? Because he's rad. Anyways, Jim Gillette was best known for being able to shatter wine glasses with his voice, his high register. And Michelangelo, who used to advertise in the back of metal magazines that I remember when I was a kid for guitar lessons, guitar lesson videos or VHS tapes at the time. Anyways, you think they would put together a decent-ish kind of band? They formed Nitro, and it was all front. This is limited to 700 copies, and if there's 700 suckers like me, more power to us. But, yeah, Nitro. If you want to hear, I mean, they're worse than I'm sorry if you like the Sleazebees. They're worse than Sleazebees. They're worse than Pretty Boy Floyd. That is maybe one of the worst. But it's on a really cool colored vinyl, which I'll show you. I have to respect the label that put this out, Real Gone Music. They do really incredibly good reissues, by the way. They did the last one of Coven. Look at it. This is kind of like, what do they call this one? Red and yellow explosion vinyl, and it hurts your goddamn eyes. But it's just like looking at the band members, it makes your eyes bleed. But I couldn't say no. So Nitro OFR. I am a sucker. I'm a sucker for glam hair metal. That's when I can't get this back in the sleeve. I grew up in that era. I still love it to this day. Even those C and D and F G League hair metal bands I love to this day. So number one, and then on the polar opposite side of the metal spectrum, I've rediscovered this band. They're amazing. It's a band called Death, and this is one called Human. And I'm not sure if this is out of print, but I was able to get a copy off Amazon. They had someone had returned a copy, so I got one from their warehouse deals for $15. This one, Human, and maybe The Sound of Perseverance, possibly. I can't remember what else, or some of their best albums they ever did. But Death is the polar opposite of Nitro. Death was the innovators of dark black, not black metal, dark, the term is escaping me, but really hard metal. Death metal, that's what I'm thinking of, death metal. You think the word death wouldn't be like a sticking point in my head, but I just worked all day. So. Anyways, Death Human, like I said, they were the purveyors of technical death metal before there was such a term as death metal. Yeah, I highly recommend this album, Human. It's absolutely amazing. I rolled my eyes back there. It's absolutely amazing. So, if you can get past the vocals, there's insanely good music there with Death Human. Next one, once again, Amazon clearance. A third party had this for like $11. Now I've been wanting this on vinyl forever, but I can't find it lower than $40 ish, give or take $5 here or there, and I refuse to pay that. And $11. I can't remember what was the third party company now. One of those big ones from the UK that does the Amazon third party. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I'm not sure if they're deleting it and bringing out another version. That's why they were selling it off cheap. Many people consider this to be their best album ever. I don't. I personally love Mother's Milk. That's me personally. But Blood Sugar Sex Magic is more of a varied album, I guess. Mother's Milk is kind of straight. It's straight in your eyes for the most part. Anyways, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, really happy I held out because I finally got a copy on vinyl for dirt cheap, and I love this album. So there you go. There's that one. That's it for the new vinyl. Let's do what can you get. Okay, after I do this one, don't click off, because you won't believe what else I got. Trust me. Trust me. This is maybe my best video ever for quality of vinyl. I'm not lying. And I'm drinking so much coffee so I don't nod asleep. If I actually fell asleep right now on camera, I would post that, because that would be the funniest thing ever. I just nod off, and I'm going to throw it up on YouTube, and you can watch me snore and sleep and spit all over the place. Okay, if I have time to do this, I'll edit in the photos. Just not that you wouldn't believe me, but there was a guy online on a local ad. I always talk about online ads through a local one's called Kijiji, which is like a version of Craigslist. I always tell you that. You might have it in your part of the world. If you're up on it and you check several times a day, you can jump on these deals. There was a guy who got into vinyl a couple years ago, bought a very nice turntable, which he's selling, and he was advertising his records because they were just collecting dust. It was kind of a passing fad for him, but he spent a lot of money on vinyl. He was selling them off for $1, $2, $3, and the most I paid was $8. But in the end, I bought a lot, so he gave me a group deal. This is what you can get for $35 if you're just on the ball. And I'm hoping I have time to slice in the ads so you can see that straight up legit. This guy was selling these records for $2, $3, $4, sometimes $1. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I have the gumption to cut them in right now. And I hope I had. I hope I cut them in, because then there would just be an awkward silence there. Anyways, we're gonna start with this, and I'm actually just I can't. This blows my mind that I was able to get this for $35. All this is all Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, but this isn't any version of Wish You Were Here. This was the deleted 2011 EMI Harvest pressing. And the 2011 pressings are super good of the Pink Floyd albums. This one, the nice inner sleeve, and it has the poster inside, which commemorates this as being the, let's see if I can get this right here, Pink Floyd Wish You Were Here 2011. It comes with the poster, download card, which I never use. Who gives a shit about that? Anyways, beautiful inner sleeve cut, so you can just put them in properly, which I never do. Hang on here. All this just to show you the poster. The 2011 one, like I said, they were deleted, and they brought out the newer one. Sorry, I'm reaching for the sleeve here. They brought out the newer ones that came out on the Pink Floyd label, which are incredibly awesome. I need to say this really quickly, and I'm going to have a lot of people arguing with me on this, and this should be a separate video. And I was talking to someone else about this recently. Someone who goes by the name, I think it's AGK Productions, anyways, on Instagram. Don't discount newer pressings, because sometimes they are actually better than originals. And there's a lot of ego stroke in owning original Pink Floyd albums, and I have original Pink Floyd albums, and I'm impressing no one but myself. Newer pressings of some of these records are light years better than the original presses. And that's the case of these new Pink Floyd ones. The ones that are out now, but the 2011 ones of Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here are spectacular. If you can find it, get them. They're all, like I said, the label will say EMI Harvest. Those are the 2011 ones. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is an original copy of The Wall. Just whatever. Bog standard copy of The Wall. I think I talked about this last video. It's very, very hard to get a copy of The Wall. The Wall has a lot of silent passages in it. And if you have one with lots of pops and clicks or surface noise, it's really noticeable in The Wall, the album itself. So that's why I recommend getting the new version, because it's a little bit expensive, but it's worth it for having a clean version of The Wall. But anyways, I wasn't going to pass this up. The Wall original pressing, original Canadian pressing. There's more. Hang on. You would think I would put some energy into this, or some, not energy, some. I'm missing one. Holy crap! Hang on. Hang tight. I am missing one. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pause. I'm gonna come back. 1 second. Pause. I'm putting the camera right here. Pause. And we're back. Sorry about that. That's the first time I've ever done that, by the way. I've never actually paused it in the middle of a video. Usually it's one go. But I had to find this as part of this. What can you get for $35? Anyways, staying on the Pink Floyd train. This is the 2011 version of Dark Side of the Moon. I think a couple of videos ago I showed a brand new one sealed. If not, then I gotta pull that out for another video. I found a sealed copy. The 2011 ones are very, if you go to these snobby vinyl forums, which I just do sometimes just to kind of see what the snobs are saying about a certain pressing. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're full of shit. But that's like everyone in life, isn't it? But much like your American president. You can dislike my video now because I said that if you like that. Anyways. I don't even live in your country. What the fuck do I know? Anyways, 2011, if you go on those forums, this one, there's always those threads. What's the best version of Dark Side of the Moon? I think I've talked about this before. The Japanese original one with the solid blue triangle is quite well regarded. And this always pops up in that top 3 is this 2011 pressing. I have a sealed copy of this, and I can keep it sealed so I can sell it later on. I got a beautiful, and all this guy's vinyl is like near mint. If it's brand new, he might have played it once or not at all. So there, he just took the wrapper off and maybe played it once. Nice guy though, but not everyone who got into the vinyl fad a few years ago, who got into it, stuck with it. So anyways, this one is absolutely amazing sounding. 2011 pressing. It definitely rivals the new one that's out now, which I think is the best pressing, maybe ever. But anyways, 2011 pressing of Dark Side of the Moon. And then I got an original. Well, I'm not sure if it's an original because I've had this back and forth with someone via the comment section. But this is, if not, it's the second pressing of Led Zeppelin 1. First one on the Red Atlantic label. Plays absolutely beautiful. I have a few copies of the Red Label one, which are they're very coveted in Canada to find the Red Label one. But finding a nice condition copy one is, it's rare as rare gets. It's not rare as rare gets, but it's very hard to find a good condition Red Label copy, and I found one. I must have 10 copies of this fucking album now, but anyways, beautiful, beautiful copy of the first Led Zeppelin album, either first or second pressing. I'm too lazy to look it up, but there you go. This is still what you can get for 35 bucks. Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies. Why am I excited about this one? You know why. Hang on. If you're an Alice Cooper fan, you'll know why. It's the first time I've ever found it with the dollar bill inside, or the $1 billion bill. Amazing. I've been looking forever for a nice copy with the dollar bill, and I found it. Well, it's a $1 billion bill, sorry. Look at that. Finally. The search is over, and I got it for a couple bucks. All right. Janis Joplin. I got them Old Cosmic Blues again. Janis Joplin, and yeah. I'm not the biggest Janis Joplin fan. I was trying to think of something to say. I mean, I do like her, but I'm not like, I wasn't going to pass this up for a couple bucks. But I'm going to guess like an artist coming up later that Janis Joplin is someone that I'm going to rediscover later on in life. Because I have her albums, and but in the pecking order of what I pull to play, she's very kind of back. I don't really think she's in the back of my mind. I don't really think of it. I'm going to bet later on in life, I'm going to, maybe soon in 2020, I'm going to rediscover Janis Joplin possibly, because I have these nice condition copies of her albums. Big Brother and the Holding Company, and Janis Joplin. Very nice condition copy. Took that for a couple bucks. This was $1, I think it was, or $2. Joe Cocker, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. This is the first time I've ever found a copy, but that's mine. I'm going to keep this copy. It's in such nice condition. This is a later Polygram Records pressing, but still, absolutely great album. If you know how many amazing people appear on this album. Joe Cocker, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. This one I just took a punt on. I just took a chance. I don't know the band, but it was just laying on the. He laid them all out on the floor for me, and I was just like, okay. Well, we were exchanging messages, and he had a pile set aside for me, and there was some stuff that wasn't claimed yet, and he laid them all on the floor, and this was on there, and I don't know why I chose this one. There's like something else coming up. I just said, you know what? I'll take that if you're gonna throw that in for $1 or $2. It's a band called Fosso Faircent, and the album's called Muchacho, whatever. I just was struck by the cover. It's from 2013 on Dead Oceans Records, and he was describing it as Americana. It's definitely that, but it's a lot more weird. And I don't know. I just looked at the cover and think that looks interesting. I'll try this out. I cannot pronounce the band's name to save my life, but that was part of this pile. It's like I said, a brand new pressing. Yeah, a decent album. I listened to it a couple times. It was good. I enjoyed it. It's not usually my normal fare. as one would say. But yeah, and here we go. Another. I was rumors. I think I probably have 13 copies. I don't know. I probably have legit 7, 8 copies that are mine personally, different variants. Maybe 7 copies, and the other ones, like I always say, I pick up and I kind of sell off at record fairs or whatever we do, vinyl swap meets. Whenever I find a copy of Rumors, that was part of the pile of what you can get for 35 bucks. We're still going here. Black Star, David Bowie. And what's awesome about this one, this is the first pressing. And what's important about that, I have a first pressing. I got the clear vinyl first pressing. That was a Barnes & Noble's exclusive. That's worth a ton of money now. I have that one. But the first pressing that came out that was released just before, like the week before he died, and then everyone bought it. And then they rushed out a second pressing. The second pressing is not very good. It's kind of widely known that it's a very horrible, bad pressing. I think they rushed it way too much, and the quality really sucks. So whenever I have, like I said, I have a first pressing that I've played a million times because I love this album, and he had one of Black Star. So this is my second copy, second first pressing of Black Star, one of my favorite albums. It's slowly creeping into being one of my favorite albums of all time in that list from 2015, at the last album he ever recorded. And I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this album in the last 5 years. It's amazing to think he's been gone 5 years. It seems like yesterday. But just an amazing album. And like I said, when I saw that it was a first pressing, I just like, I'm so happy that I have a backup copy, because that first pressing, the sound is just spectacular. We're still going here. This might be a long video, but you guys know my videos are long. Purple Rain, a couple bucks for Purple Rain, a very nice copy. I am slowly piecing together. I always piece together records and make the perfect copy and sell off the other ones. I can't remember I think the vinyl in this one is better than the one I have. I'm going to do some swapping. I still don't have the poster. It's my birthday next week. You got the poster insert? You want to gift it to me? Happy birthday to me. Yeah, I still don't have the poster for Purple Rain, but still one of my favorite albums. Lou Reed, Transformer. I showed you this not that long ago. I picked up a copy. This is a brand new pressing of Transformer. It's the modern day 180 gram pressing. A few bucks. It sounds better than my original, so I'm very happy to get in that pile of records. I got a brand new pressing of Transformer. Moving on, this will blow your mind, as it blew my mind, because I thought it was an older version. This is the Rhino Records anniversary triple vinyl version of The Last Waltz by the band. It's absolutely amazing sounding. And like I said, you see The Last Waltz every now and again, and it's usually beat up and whatever. And then I finally got the pile home, and I was looking through what I got, and I'm realizing a lot of these records are brand new pressings. And this is the Rhino Records reissue that's stunning. It's just beautiful. There's a nice book inside. As like I said, there's the anniversary edition that came out. There's lots of little doodads inside, like booklets, and I'm not sure if there's a poster, but the people on this album: Paul Butterfield, Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, like Ringo Starr, Neil Young, Muddy Waters, Ron Wood. This is The Last Waltz, and I finally have the copy to end all copies that I'm going to own. This one, the Rhino Records Anniversary Edition, absolutely amazing. And this is the last one of what you can get for 35 bucks. Once again, this is one of those ones like that other band I can't pronounce, Fosso Fersen. This was laying on the floor, and I know this artist. A lot of people would play her in my record store when I was doing that record retail thing. And she's a popular artist here. We have a very popular folk festival here. It's well known worldwide, and this artist plays our folk fest quite often. And she's a favorite. I'm not sure where she's from. I'm guessing the U.S. But Brandi Carlile, double vinyl, 2000, what was it, 2015 pressing of an album called The Fire Watcher's Daughter. I don't know Brandi Carlile. I know the name, and I know the music's been played in it, but I've never listened. It's kind of in background. I don't know Brandi Carlile at all, but I was just laying there. It was a couple bucks, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try Brandi Carlile just to try it. And there it is. And I will report back because I have not played this one yet. So there you go. We're not done yet. Maybe we should be. But I'm going to go through a couple more records. I don't know. I'm not sure where we're at for time because I did that little pause there. So the timer reset. That's the timer resetting. Yeah, you know what? That stuff can wait. Let's do this. Oh man, should I show these? You know what? I'm going to save these ones for another video because they contain grails. I got to save some for another video. Bill Evans. I've been taken by Bill Evans over the last year. I'm just obsessed with his music. Having just known the name and seeing this documentary on him on Netflix video. I encourage you to watch it. It's an amazing documentary. But I got a Japanese pressing of Undercurrent by Bill Evans. Was it 1960? It's the mid-60s at some point. It's kind of just after her Live of the Vanguard, Village Vanguard came out, and Waltz for Debbie. It's a couple albums, and it's in that area there. But this is an album he did with Jim Hall, and the OBI strip, or the Obi strip, is falling here. Hang on. This is one of the best album covers of all time, in my opinion. Look at that. And I'm just taken with Bill Evans, and this album with Jim Hall, who's a guitar player, is absolutely stunning. And maybe it's my old age, where this very precise, slow piano music is speaking to me. It's great to listen to when you want to just decompress, and it's amazing. I got a Japanese pressing of Bill Evans and Jim Hall, Undercurrent. And then, where am I putting this? I got this because I understand it's an amazing pressing. Also, I have a video coming up that it's going to feature this album, but not in a way that you think. I got videos lined up the wazoo. I just got to get the energy and time to film them. A Japanese original pressing of Fleetwood Mac Rumors. The second one I'm showing you today. This is an original on the Warner Palm label from Japan. Got this locally for a really good price. So I'm going to do a comparison. I guess I'm telling you now what I'm doing. I'm going to do a comparison of all the so-called best pressings, and I'm going to tell you what the best pressing of Rumors is, because to this day it's in the top selling albums of all time, of the last 10 years, of the 2000s. It's in that list of the best selling vinyl, so it sells and sells. So obviously there's still people buying it, and there's a lot of people who probably still want to know what the best pressing is, and I'm going to tell you, because I have all the supposed good pressings of this on vinyl, and I'm going to tell you coming up in a video. But it's all relative to your ear anyways, but it'll be my opinion. Original Japanese pressing of Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Where are we going here? A couple more, and then I'm going to shut this down, because I got so much more vinyl to show you. I got this locally, and it has the poster inside. I have so many copies of this record, but I didn't have a Canadian pressing with the poster, and you guys all know I'm a T-Rex fanatic. Mark Bolan's going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Take that for what you want. A lot of people think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is... I'm representing Mark wherever you are. A lot of people think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a sham, and it is to a certain extent, but being inducted, it does carry some stroke for people maybe rediscovering his music, or that band's music. And no doubt a lot of people will be interested in who Mark Bolan and T-Rex was. And I, being a massive collector of T-Rex, it makes me very happy that he's going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But this one has the poster, if I can, you know, of Tanks. Hang on. Which I never had a Canadian pressing with. I think I have a US pressing, a promo copy that has the poster inside, but Canadian pressing. And I'm going to end with this one. I was talking earlier about Janis Joplin, and maybe that's someone who I might rediscover. I've always thought this band I'm going to show you was a bit of a schmaltzy ballad band, and I'm well aware of their hits. I've showed you their albums before, but they've never been for me personally. They've been for reselling at record fairs. Once again, I saw a documentary on this band, and it made me rethink this band's early music. And we're talking about a band called Chicago, and these are all from thrift stores, by the way. And I see Chicago albums all the time, so I decided to pick them up. And then people on Instagram have kind of given me a lot of feedback about they're in agreement that they are. Their early albums are just amazing. And so I picked up a copy of the Chicago Transit Authority, their very first album. These are like thrift store finds for $1 or $2. And who's their guitar player? Terry Kath, is it? I hope I didn't fuck that up. Terry Kath. Just amazing guitar player. And I know they're mainly a horn-driven band, but their early albums are just amazing. And this is one of those bands that, you know, there's always bands that you skip over. You don't have time to hear everything. And Chicago to me was always that schmaltzy 80s hard habit to break, and you're the inspiration, and da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, Saturday in the Park, that kind of stuff. But the early first couple, three, 4 albums are just amazing. And I was wrong about my assumption of the band. This album in particular is just, man, it blew me away. I cannot recommend this album enough. This album was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. I highly recommend the first Chicago album, but when they were under the name Chicago Transit Authority, and then they changed their name to just Chicago. And then I picked up this one from a thrift store. This is the first Chicago album under the name Chicago, and this has the one 25 or 6 to 4, which was kind of a big song for them at the time. But this one, I believe it's the whole first side is kind of like a suite, like a classical suite. So they're not that ballad band at all back in the late 60s, early 70s. They're like a progressive, you know, slightly classical influence with lots of horns. They're not the band that I thought they were. So this is the self-titled first Chicago album, like I said, with 25 or 6 to 4, which is one of those hit songs that I knew. Anyways, I was wrong about Chicago. And I'm never afraid to admit to you guys when I'm wrong in my assumption of a band. Like I said, Chicago is one of those bands I just never paid. I just never had time. You don't have time for everything. They're one of those bands I just never had time to properly investigate. But Terry Kath, I believe, is the guitar player. I keep on hearing that name over and over again on social media about how great he was, and he's the one that shot himself by accident. He died by accident. If you want to look it up. It's quite a well-known, infamous death. But it's not funny, but it is kind of how he died. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. There's much more great vinyl. There's that pile I put over there is just, you won't believe it. It's stunning. I can't believe it. There's Grails. You gotta tune in next video, the next vinyl finds video. Absolutely amazing stuff. So I got that turntable. The turntable's sitting right there. It's still in the box because I want to do the video justice. I'm not gonna do like a unboxing and then I'm gonna put it together. Like, you know, you guys, there's other videos like that. I'm gonna show it to you. I'll take it out of the box and I'm gonna put it to the test. We're gonna just bypass all that. Like, I watch turntable reviews. I hate it when I'm pressing the fast forward button, click, click, click on my phone, because I don't want to see them putting it together. I could give two shits. I want to see it. I want to hear it. That's what matters to me, and that's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to bypass all that fluff. I think it's because their videos have to get past a certain time if they're monetized to actually qualify to get money from YouTube. But that's my opinion on the matter. But I'm just going to cut out the fluff and just give you the meat of the potatoes, as they say. Anyways, that's it. Maybe my videos at night are a little bit more up. I don't know. My wife's gone too, so maybe that's what it is. I have some time alone to nerd out to records and make videos for you all. Well, once again, one last time, cheers, everyone. I want to say thank you to everyone. Once again, you guys are the greatest. If you watch my videos, you're just absolutely, I love you. You're fantastic. Namaste. And stay tuned for my turntable review video. I hope you watch it, because it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good test for a certain reason. And you'll see why. You'll see why. It's a great turntable, by the way. Anyways, that's it. This has been David Michael, a.k.a. Nazz Nomad. From me, from my lighted flamingos in the back, if you can see them in the back there, and from the Knack and from Roger Waters back there, this has been it. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. Take care. We'll see you next video. Peace.